Alright guys, what's happening? We're looking at Overload version 0.4 build 44. This is the most recent early access release, came out a couple of days ago. I just got done with a 4 or 5 hour drive, so if I'm saying or a lot, you know why. Yeah, I'm going to be taking a look at Foundry. It's the new challenge mode map. I saw Roundabout on leaderboard entries for the past week or so, but I guess that didn't make it into this this early access release. I'm also going to be looking at Outer Moons 2 in the story mode. That's a new level that we have to play around with, so I'm going to be taking a look at that. But yeah, this is my first time playing through Foundry. As you can see, straight zeros across the board. So yeah, I'm gonna take a look at it here. Looks like this will be more lava heavy, pretty industrial, as the card says here. This was built during a 24-hour live stream. It looks like I've seen this mentioned a couple of times in the chat, and people were pretty excited about having this this back. So I'm gonna fish real quick for some good weapons. Let's see. All right, yeah, I'll take that. That's fine. Cool. Nice. Okay, so an ogre just showed up. Looked a lot like a goblin, except in gunmetal gray, which, you know, I'm not. Yeah, there's one. Okay, so they're heavier looking goblins. I would be totally okay with this design now if they were tweaked a little bit to be a little bit more different than goblins, like the little orange ones that float around. I'd be totally okay with that as well. Just because they're pretty hard to tell apart. Ogres appear to have driller M's that don't do much damage, which I'm also pretty ecstatic about. Just because we already have the Guardian that has regular drillers or driller GXs, and those can really pack a punch, but they're rather static. So having something that does that has a similar mechanic and does less damage, but requires a different play style. That's definitely good to see. So with Foundry here, it's very red. It is it's a counter to how blue Pipeline is. That ice level that was in the last early access drop. Lots of little nooks and crannies here, ways to escape. There's a central pillar here that sort of runs up through the entire level, it appears. And I want to say there's about 3 levels. Yeah, 3 levels. And then daylight, which is interesting, unless that's just intended to be very bright lights. It's looking like robots are back to build 29's damage values. I basically just flew at a super harpy, and took almost no damage from it. So that, not to say that's a bad thing, and I was definitely advocating for tweaking damage values to be lower in this most recent one. But it's depending on the AI, how aggressive it is, or how evasive all these robots are, that might lend itself to having essentially infinite sessions, especially if shield drops are more or less infinite. And the name of the challenge mode that I play most often is Infinite. I did have a couple of records on the channel here a couple of days ago. But anyway, or a couple of records in Countdown. But anyway, a truly infinite session is all well and good, but then it becomes a weird mental war of attrition, which is not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination, but it just takes a lot more time to get to and set records, and you could theoretically keep going, but I just have to go do X, Y, or Z, so you're limited by your schedule essentially. But again, this is really first impressions. These are my first couple of minutes with this build, so that may definitely not be the case. This appears to be retaining the colder start of build 30. It takes a while to really start ramping up. But Yeah, other than that, there don't seem to be too many changes balance-wise. I fired off a couple of Falcons here. They look bigger and a little more, I want to say laterally adjusted? No, vertically adjusted. Yeah. Yeah, the missiles look bigger and slower, and they're like right on the sides of the ship. Like they're coming out at like perpendicularly to your reticle here. But I could be wrong. I could just be making shit up as always. All right, Crusher DX. One thing I do appreciate about the Ogres is how easy they are to kill. Anything that has a hit scan weapon in this is very, very difficult. So having something that you can just like polish off with a quick volley from some missiles is it's just a good balancing decision in my opinion. I feel like I feel as if the boost is a little less, but I haven't played in a couple of days, so like I'm slightly off right now. Yeah, I think I'm just off. It's whatever. Now, I want to say the Devastator has also been centered, and the Nova as well, or Smart Missile. Let me just get somewhere safe. No, it doesn't look like it. It does at first glance, but maybe not. So, things have cooled off a little bit here. I'm just fighting robots like 1 or 2 at a time. I'm already at 78. So I don't know if this is like just a density issue in how often things spawn in this map in particular, or if spawning has been adjusted across the board, but it definitely feels a lot colder than previous builds. I'm in less trouble from fewer robots. There we go. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of pickup spawns. They're everywhere. It's a very power-up dense map, which is great for survivability and just causing chaos, but does make it pretty easy if robot density isn't particularly high. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So I think stuff like the Nova is really gonna do a lot of damage here, just because there are so many corners you can dodge around. It would not appear that the Reflex and Nova bug, where a lot of on-screen or in-area particles really slow your machine down, doesn't seem as if that has been addressed. Maybe it will be in a future patch, but for me, I'm at least noticing that it's not quite there yet. Jeez, these ogres are really dangerous. I thought they'd just be like, swatting flies, but they do some pretty good damage. And I'm also taking a lot of heat from Super Harpies, but that's just a standard issue for challenge mode. I'm also not quite sure what is dropping creepers, but something is, and I have just so many of these right now. I think it might be the ogres, but I'm not sure. There we go. Yeah, this is just really interesting to sort of fly around in. I'm sorry this is like so boring, but I'm just like having a good time just like blowing shit up. There isn't really much else that I can say about the map. I'm trying to think as I go along here. It not to be like it's antithetical to how what's the one? Pipeline works, but it is. Like, this is the opposite of Pipeline. At least in my opinion. The true opposite is Labyrinth, I think it is. Whatever the underground one is that's like pitch black. But this is it's just a lot of very like small areas, and they're, you know, short hallways, tight corridors, stuff like that. I would hate to face off against Titans in here. I don't know if, you know, certain stuff is pulled out of robot spawning pools, depending on, you know, what map it is. But there we go. Hydras may have been fixed. They're chasing me. Well, not really chasing me. They're actually coming for me. I can hit them, and they're not slapping me down with a ton of cyclone shots, which was not really like game breaking in the previous build, but it was like a pretty major annoyance. Yeah, I gotta dump all those. I'm at one. Okay. I'm running out of time. This might, yeah. Coming down to the end here. There's a shield. It's difficult to get angles on robots. It's, there's just so many that you can go to or come from or anything like that. That it's tough to like know how to approach, which is a great challenge. It's a very unique design. Yeah, it's not. I don't see this becoming one of my favorites. And it's not like as let's say pure as Cyrinx is, but I can definitely see myself playing it, which is more than I can say for a couple of maps actually. And playing it regularly. Oh jeez. It's difficult to get a handle on where everything is, and I know that's just because like I literally just picked this map up a few minutes ago, but I still have no idea where anything is. Like, I don't know if these hallways are symmetrical. It looks like they might be, but it's hard. It's a hard map to like get my head around. Crap, I'm finding just so many creepers. What is up with that? The Evasion Code that was introduced a couple of builds ago is really excellent. It's fun to play against, and it's a real challenge to be like, okay, do I chase this guy? Do I not chase this guy? You know, where's the AI gonna lead them? Stuff like that. I am noticing that a couple of robots are still spawning a little bit too near me, which, I mean, that's fine. You can't always suppress that. You can't perfectly code something like that unless you, like, force a distance or whatever. But it's pretty dangerous. I could see it ending runs inadvertently. But, yeah, things, it's... trying to think of about the density problem, because I'm not sure if like I'm running into it or if I'm just like, or if it's like a placebo effect. There we go. I'm also noticing markedly less pre-firing, which I know was it was a big thing that I've been talking about since 18. And it's still present, and it should be, because like it just wouldn't be fair if you could always get the drop on robots. Like that just doesn't. That'll lead to truly infinite challenge mode. This might come apart pretty soon. I saw Zero, I think, posted a 511 insane run on Centrifuge, which is like the record among records right now. That's crazy. That is so high, which leads me to believe that it is possible to get like a truly infinite run. So this is almost assuredly an easier build, but like how easy is the question. And I'm really I am hanging on. This is crazy. I've been at low health for several minutes now. There we go, there's the end. 300 even it looks like. Boy, that took a while. Let's see. 16 minutes, yeah. That's long enough for first impressions, sure. And number 2. All right, good showing. Nice, that's pretty good. I could probably buff that out, probably touch 350, 400 with some practice. But that's definitely good. I'm gonna jump into, while I have it here, Outer Moons 2. I haven't covered Outer Moons 3, but I just wanted to touch on 2 since it's pretty new. I'm gonna play this on Hotshot as well. Hopefully I will not take too long. Let's see. Near final. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. It's loading. The single player levels I've noticed have always taken longer to load, but that's how it is. So we're sort of above ground-ish. This is a bit reminiscent of the opening to Descent 1 level 3. Ogres showing up already, okay. That's pretty good. That's a vintage sound. We need more of these panels. There's only one? Really? There can't just be one. Give me whole banks of those. Can you blow lights out? Yeah. That was really cool in D2. You could destroy lights and change how the level worked. Well, not worked, but like was lit. Door. So this is pretty cool. Where the hell is the? Oh, here we go. It's a sort of industrial descent down into rocks and not industrial things, more of a mining thing. Yeah. You see how it looks. Alright. Hostages, yay. Alright. got a regular door and a secret door. Since I know there are secret doors in this area. Oh, okay. Just flew near it. It would be excellent to see secret doors and rocks. That'd be awesome. And also very difficult to find. You don't want to make it impossible, obviously, but... Okay. Every time I see a yellow door here, let me see if this closes. See how that's yellow? Typically, backlit yellow doors in Descent 1 and 2. To me, that always says, oh, there's an energy center behind this. Which, I mean, I know that it's a totally different game, totally different design philosophy, etc., etc. But I'm still sort of stuck in that mindset, so I'm a little more reticent to open doors that are yellow. Be cool if we could, like, shoot those out and or slow them down. So this is good. It's linear. It's it feels a lot more Descent-esque than Outer Moons 3. Outer Moons 3 had almost a Descent 3 vibe to it, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I like Descent 3. Or at least have fond memories of Descent 3 based on my recent playthrough of the demo levels. But what's down here? Okay. But yeah, that's just my impression of the way things look here. Now this is intended to be level 2, so I'm just going to be flying with the Impulse and some pretty basic rockets here. Let's see. Alright, now this will... Okay, alright. I was expecting to get, like, trapped in there and shot to hell with, like, 20 robots all at once, but I guess not. Which is, I mean, that's fine. It's level 2. Now, I understand there's a guide bot. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, okay. Now, I don't know if there's a menu. I haven't looked at a menu for the guide bot. I haven't looked at the key bindings. I just remember B was in the patch notes, I think, or maybe I saw it on the forums or something. But yeah. Yeah, we need more of those panels. More panels, please. That's the impression that I'm getting here. Now, wait a minute. Okay, maybe. It looked just then as if a direct hit from a Falcon will not, or will rather, destroy Goblin. That's impressive. That's a significant tweak. Also, it's appearing that debris is now persistent, which is very exciting. That's something that I've wanted in my initial first impressions. That's something that's in D2X Re and D2X XL, and as well D1X Rebirth. Oh, boy, there we go. That's a good placement. That's good enemy placement there. Let's see, and then you get the Cyclone. Alright, alright. Oh, okay, so this was red when I came down, and now it's blue that I have the key. I'm still very much on the fence about blue, yellow, red, and, you know, numbering everything. I can see arguments both ways. Blue, yellow, red's the classic. And I always wanted to see it in, you know, a Descent 2 or Descent 4 or something go all the way out to, like, blue, yellow, red, green, purple, you know, all the different stuff. But 1, 2, 3, etc. That's, I mean, if that's the design for it, I'll figure it out. I'll learn to live with it. I think now that I'm shooting more of these panels, having them all sound exactly the same when you strike them, that's a good throwback. But at the same time, we should have like 2 or 3 sounds that it cycles between, and just have the one as an Easter egg. Just because, like, after a while, that's very samey. And there's a lot of variety elsewhere in the game. And I know it's like a pretty minor thing, or minor part of the level thus far, but there's going to be 15 of these. Follow me to the reactor. How do I get you back? Oh, what? Oh, that's cool. Man, that's great. I wish your aim wouldn't move when you move the mouse around to do this menu. But that's cool. That's really cool. Finally, a use for the radial menu here. Deactivate. There we go. We should probably call that, like, recall. But I just wasn't thinking. I was too enamored with the radial menu. So deactivate also works. I'm keeping an eye out for secrets. I'm not seeing all that much. I've heard there might be switches in here somewhere, but I haven't seen them. This effect right here, the energy center, this is great. This makes me wish it was on Unreal Engine for some reason, just because this looks very Unreal Engine. This is like Gears of Descent right here. It's got that very like liquidy look to it, and the whatchamacallit here, the little entrance, I guess. That's interesting. It looks very Unreal Engine. I think there's also an asset in the Source engine that looks like that too, for their little force fields. But anyway, moving on. Speaking of which, where are force fields? Let's get some of those going. Just these, but blue. And we have to like find switches. If there isn't one already, there should be an achievement for destroying 1,000 screens. Just because it's a great time shooting the screens, and it'd be funny to shoot 1,000 and get rewarded for it if, you know, a little pop-up could be called a reward. Oh, jeez. So these are destructible? They are destructible, alright. I never tried hard enough in Outer Moons 3. I was too busy trying to get the pacifist achievement. So I came this way, I think. There we go. Switch back to the impulse. Oh, what is that? I need that. I need it. What is it? It looks like it's a driller. Hey, wait a minute. The driller's white on the outside now. Oh, that's great. That's cool. That's exactly what I wanted. Or suggested. Well, I kind of wanted it too, because like it was throwing my game. Not like throwing my game, but you get the idea. That's cool. How do I get that? Here we go. Driller. Yeah, nice. Wow. Yeah, the soundscape really sounds as if it's changed. The driller sounds even more bang, 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 bang. And like the missiles, when you hit walls with them, they do sound a little bit poppier. Yeah. Here we go. Anything? No? Wow, okay. This is some good shit for a reactor room. Nice. Unless this isn't it is, okay. I should probably find the exit. Missile pods appear to have had their tracking severely nerfed, at least without the super tracker upgrade, which, I mean, I'm not gonna hate because they were hilariously overpowered earlier. Which just means I'm gonna have to find other things. But I'm gonna miss it. Good thing I have a copy of Build 30 elsewhere on my hard drive that I can just sort of go back to and wreck shit with missile pods. So I need the exit. Anyone want to? Like, is it? It's not. This isn't it. Oh, there is a door. Okay. I didn't see that. Door locked. Okay. There we go. Now this is great. This little rush. Oh, okay. So that. Oh, nice. That's pretty sweet. Still waiting for the mind shaking. I mean, that's a challenge. Let's see, is there an escape sequence? It looks like no. Yeah. Cool. 9 out of 12, 3 out of 3, 91 out of. All right, that's good. That's good. Now there's upgrades. There we go. This is new. Nice. Okay. So I have 4 upgrade points. Give me okay, Impulse Plus. Nice. Cool. So. Wait a minute. This has a little logo. What could that be? Impulse Cyclone, right? Driller. Wow. Oh, it's just a filler. Okay. Item duration, maximum ammo. Okay. So these are all. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, you could change the flight speed. That'd be. That's. I need that. Can I go back and undo that? Yeah, okay, so that's what's needed on this screen is a cancel button where it like undoes all of your upgrades and then the back should apply or like cancel and apply buttons. Just cuz like I didn't think to look on these on this third page here. But whatever, that's fine. So all right, yeah, these appear to just all be placeholders at the moment because the Crusher isn't a missile. Is it? I don't think it is. And then I'm trying to think, what is on what? Yeah, it's all placeholder graphics. It looks like. But anyway, those are the two. This is 2 new levels for Overload. This is a lot longer, as always, as I intended it to be. And I really rambled on for a while. But, yeah, it was neat. Things are progressing pretty well. Not quite as heavy on content as I believe it was, as I believe Build 29 was. The Lighting Pass really made every single level new again. It was great. But yeah, things are shaping up really well. The AI changes are excellent. The balance changes are, to me, they're hit and miss, but that's just because I use some of the weapons that got nerfed very, very, very regularly. So that's just me, whining about nothing as usual. But yeah, pretty good stuff. Excited to see what version 0.5 is going to look like. I figure we'll probably have that sometime in mid-June, at which point we'll be doing this all again. All right, thanks for subbing. If you've subbed between my 10 sub special and now and happen to watch this, and if you happen to watch this even if you haven't subscribed, thanks for doing that, because this is just a really long video, and that I don't like my voice either. So, yeah, all right, see y'all in the next one.